Welcome back to Cossy Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. The weekend is back, and that means Arsenal are back in action as well. We take on Crystal Palace at the Sellers Park. That one is a difficult one. We did win it last campaign, 2-0. Gabriel Martinelli onto the score sheet, plus Bukayo Saka as well. But this one is going to be a tricky one. We're going to be diving into the Arsenal starting 11. No Julian Timber in this game. Who replaces him and how do we set up without Julian Timber? Now, if you have not watched that video on the channel, how do Arsenal set up without Julian Timber for the rest of the season, please do give it a watch because it just calms your nerves down, right? I know there is a lot of panic going on, but Arsenal will be absolutely all right. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. So in this one, I want 3 changes to the starting 11 Mikel Arteta made. One, I want Leandro Trossard to start in this game. To be honest, Mikel needs to start giving Trossard a chance 70 minutes, 80 minutes at least, because he's our best player. Going forward, scoring chances, creating chances as well. He is our best player. Arsenal played a behind closed doors yesterday. We won 3-0 against Luton, and he scored a brace. This guy has just announced himself as one of the best players in this Arsenal side. Experience, pace, understanding the system, his passing accuracy, his ability to navigate spaces, he's absolutely phenomenal. The other change I would love to see is Gabriel Magalhaes coming back into the starting 11. Yes, I've already said he makes mistakes, but I want him in that team. I really, really do. And of course, we're going to look at how Arsenal can set up with Gabriel Magalhaes back in the team. And the third change is definitely you will listen to that when we dive into the starting 11 later on. Let's get this video to 500 likes and let's dive into Arsenal's starting 11 versus Crystal Palace at the Sellers this Monday. In goal, this is the third change, of course. David Raya. I would love David Raya to start over Aaron Ramsdale in this one. Now, like I said, I don't want Aaron Ramsdale to be replaced by David Raya, but I want to see what David Raya is really going to provide at Arsenal. And for me, this could be the game that Arsenal actually need a goalkeeper like David Raya. Now, look, Crystal Palace are not one of the real quality sides, but they do have some quality in that midfield in players like Decore and players like, Eze. They will create some problems and they will actually, they will form that kind of decent low block. I actually reckon that at Sellers Park, we will find it difficult to break down Crystal Palace, as compared to how difficult it was to break down Nottingham Forest at the Emirates Stadium. Just a point of caution. So David Raya, I want to see what it's all about. I just want to see what he's all about. And the first 2-3 games of the campaign, that is when you start, making your, changes here and there as manager. So I would love to see David Raya. I want us to go a little bit direct. I want us to see, I want how we can use David Raya and Kai Havertz to overcome that kind of low block in midfield, and especially teams that are going to give us that hard time, man-to-mark marking, the pressing and all that. So I would love David Raya to start in this game ahead of Aaron Ramsdale. I'm sorry, I know you're going to disagree in the comment box below, but this is a fun channel and we are all about agreeing and disagreeing. Okay, to replace Julian Timber for me is gonna be my boy Alexander Zinchenko. Zinchenko is fit. He also played in the behind closed doors against Luton Town, and Mikel Arteta says that we can have him. He's available. We can have him as soon as possible. There's so many options at left back against Crystal Palace. I think Alexander Zinchenko had a very good game on opening day last campaign. I think we would use him in order to create those midfield overloads, in order to create those midfield superiorities. I think what Zinchenko gives us, so many players cannot give us that. One, he's not afraid of receiving the ball in wide and tight spaces. 2, he's not afraid of progressing the ball forward into forward areas, advanced areas of the pitch. And number 3, he gives you that numerical superiority advantage in midfield, and he gives you the qualitative superiority as well. He can beat a man. He can take off 3 4-5 players. He can take out 3-4-5 players in a game just with one single pass. Intelligent, and he understands the system. I just remembered that. Okay, at centre back, another change. Well, I've made so many changes now. Another change, Gabriel Magalhaes to be back at centre back. I missed him in the last game. I really, really did. I love you, Gabi. So I want Gabi to come back in the starting 11 alongside Saliba, and then Ben White can actually play on the right-hand side. What I've done here, actually, is I've just made sure that Thomas Partey is not going to be inverting on the right-hand side. And I've also made sure, from the right-hand side. And I've also made sure that Gabriel Magalhaes is back in the team. This defense is going to be very, very key to the way we play. And why I've actually done this is simple, because Alexander Zinchenko is going to be inverting into midfield a lot of the time. And then we can easily shuffle into back three with Saliba, Gabi, and White. I hope you guys agree with me on that. If you agree, let me know in the comment box below. If you disagree, let me know in the comment box below as well. Okay, in midfield, I've gone with the usual partnerships in your head. I've gone with Thomas Partey just as the only holding midfielder. Of course, that means that Zini is going to be inverting into midfield to make that run all the time. I've also gone with Declan Rice alongside Martin Odegaard. And the essence of this, and why I've actually gone with these three in midfield, is very, very easy. With Alexander Zinchenko looking to make this run here and joining up into midfield, he will, of course, be attracted all the time to get into advanced areas. Then Declan Rice will be the guy to drop deep and defend or cover for Alexander Zinchenko. That's why I've done that. So Zinchenko at left back, but you expect him to be a little bit ahead of Declan Rice in the average positions. Thomas Partey, of course, is going to be a very crucial player in this game. They will try to win the midfield. They will try to overload us. And Thomas Partey is one of those players that will try to stop the break. Odegaard then becomes the only creative piece, and of course he runs into these half spaces, something that he does very well. But of course with Declan Rice and Alexander Zinchenko, you expect these half spaces to be filled very, very well as well. Okay, so that is my midfield three. Up top, another change is coming. 1, Leandro Trossard on the left-hand side. Another change is coming. Striker, Kai Havertz. And of course, another constant is incoming in Bukayo Saka. So that is my 4-3-3 system against Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park. And why I've gone with Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard, I'm going to explain. Just give me a chance, right? So against Crystal Palace, you are going to play against the likes of Joachim Andersen. You're going to play against the likes of Mitchell. You're going to play a pretty much decent defensive system as compared to Nottingham Forest. And a player like Edin Ketia, however much he had a very good game and he deserves to be repaid and rewarded by another start, I kind of feel like Eddie might not be of importance in this game. He might not be the player we actually need to start this game. So it's a game where we might need to go long. It's a game where we will have possession. I don't think we're going to struggle with that. Our problem is going to be in the final third. How do we break them down? How do we break Crystal Palace down? How do we break that defensive, that defensive shield, down? And that's why I've gone with Leandro Trossard. That's why I've gone with Kai Havertz as well. Because our midfield is not that creative. Of course, Zinchenko is going to be playing in this area around here. Okay, so that means that we have Trossard, Zinchenko, Odegaard as the three very creative players, and of course Saka can always do his thing. So what this actually helps us against Palace is you have two players in Trossard and Zinchenko, and Kai actually three, who can be switching these places and rotating between themselves. This is a tactic that actually worked for us a lot of the time. So if Kai Havertz, Trossard, and Zinchenko play together on the left hand side, you won't be surprised to see Kai Havertz drifting to the left and then Trossard drifting to the middle, or even Alexander Zinchenko at times drifting to the left, creating a lot of space for Rice to actually arrive in, or even Kai Havertz to occupy. And when Kai Havertz draws from that center forward role, then anyone can actually occupy it. Odegaard, Rice, or even anyone. So I think it's a game that's going to call for tactical mastermindness. It's a game that's going to ask for us to elevate our game. Selhurst, you asked Manchester City last campaign, not one of those places you want to go and underperform. You must be on your best day, you must be on your best behavior, and you must be completely switched on. If Arsenal want to win this game, we must run from the start and we have to be completely switched on. That's why I've gone Leandro Trossard. And because also I think Gabriel Martinelli, with his pace and with his constant running, he might, okay, if you're playing FPL, I'm sorry, but I do have Leandro Trossard in my team. So if you want to create a difference in this game, I think Gabriel Martinelli, with his explosiveness and his being lightning quick, could actually add another flavor in the 60th, 70th minute to this game. Let me know if you agree with my starting lineup, but this is what I've gone for. David Raya in goal, Gabi, Saliba, White, Partey and Rice, Kai Havertz, Zinchenko, Trossard, Odegaard, and Bukayo Saka in a 4-3-3. Speak to you soon.